Welcome to The Explainer. I'm your host, and listen, as a proud Jersey girl, I am absolutely pumped to bring you today's deep dive into the completely unique, hilarious, and sometimes totally aggressive language of New Jersey. If you're an out-of-state transplant, a visitor, or just kind of fascinated by wild regional dialects, consider this your official Garden State survival guide. We're going to teach you how to navigate our state without sticking out like a sore thumb. Get ready, because we definitely do things a little differently around here.
So think you know how to order a peck on a hard roll, or maybe take the jug handle down to AC? If that sentence sounded like absolute gibberish to you, then you desperately need this masterclass. We've got our own way of driving, our own way of eating, and for sure, our own way of talking.
Okay, let's just dive right in. The absolute most fundamental New Jersey question you will ever be asked is, what's your exit? See, in Jersey, we really don't ask what town you're from. We ask what Garden State Parkway exit you live off of. It's basically our universal compass. I might not know exactly where your specific town is on a map, but if you tell me you're exit 81 or exit 109, I instantly know exactly where you are and roughly how long it's going to take me to get there. And since we're already talking about the Parkway, let's talk about driving. In Jersey, we have this thing called a jug handle. It's a ramp on the right side of the road that you use to make a left turn, completely avoiding the main intersection. We call this the Jersey left because making a direct left turn on a lot of our major highways is practically illegal. So instead of turning left from the left lane, you exit to the right, loop around, and cross over the highway you were literally just driving on.
Now, reading the definition is one thing, but living it is a whole different story. Here is the authentic, fully panicked sentence you're going to hear from the passenger seat. You missed the jug handle. Now we got to go 3 miles down Route 9 to turn around. It is a genuine crisis. In Jersey, missing your jug handle means you are locked into a forward trajectory until the state graciously provides you with another one, which, trust me, feels like it takes a lifetime.
Let's see how this builds into our broader driving culture. First up, we've got the Jersey stop. That's when you slow down just enough to not completely blow the stop sign, but you never, ever lose forward momentum. Then, the Jersey sweep. That's smoothly or terrifyingly sliding across 3 lanes of traffic in one fluid motion just to make your exit. And finally, the Jersey barrier. Those are the concrete walls lining our endless, eternal construction sites. Oh, and just a friendly reminder from a local, the left lane is for passing only. Do not hang out there, or you are going to experience Jersey road rage firsthand. Okay, now what's really interesting about our culture is our official fueling mantra, 20 regular cash. New Jersey is literally the only state in the country that does not allow drivers to pump their own gas. And honestly, we take a lot of pride in this. So when you pull up to the pump, you roll down your window and you deliver this exact phrase to the attendant. It tells them the dollar amount, the fuel grade, and the payment method, all in 3 highly efficient words. In practice, it sounds exactly like this. Hey, my guy, let me get 20 regular cash. It's polite, it's super direct, and it gets you back on the road fast. Now, if it's payday and you're feeling a little fancy, you might upgrade that order to Fill It Up Premium. But the rapid-fire delivery remains exactly the same. All right, moving into our Jersey Shore Survival Guide. In New Jersey, we never, ever say we're going to the beach. That is a massive dead giveaway that you're not from around here. We go down the shore. Whether you're heading to Point Pleasant, Seaside Heights, or Cape May, the destination is always, universally, down the shore. And when you finally get down the shore, you are definitely going to encounter the tourists. They're famously categorized as bennies or shoobies. Bennies are typically the loud, high-energy folks coming down from North Jersey cities like Bayonne, Elizabeth, Newark, and New York City. On the flip side, shoobies are the tourists heading to South Jersey beaches from Pennsylvania. They actually got that name historically because they packed their lunches in shoeboxes and were pretty notorious for wearing sandals with socks. Now, both terms have historically been used with a bit of an eye roll by the locals, but objectively speaking, the tourism economy, whether it's driven by bennies or shoobies, is absolutely vital to the survival of local shore businesses. We really do need them. Heading just a little bit inland, we have the term piney. This refers to a resident of the South or Southwest New Jersey Pine Barrens. Decades ago, this might have been tossed around as a bit of an insult for someone living out deep in the woods, but today, it is worn as an absolute badge of honor. Pineys are incredibly proud of their deep roots, their totally unique ecosystem, and their local history. Okay, now we arrive at the great food debates, and this brings us to the single most intense regional rivalry in the entire state, Taylor ham versus pork roll. This is our iconic, slightly mysterious answer to Canadian bacon. In North Jersey, they call it by its original brand name, Taylor ham. In South Jersey, they insist on the generic term, pork roll, and they will fiercely defend it.
And sitting right in the middle, you have Central Jersey, which, yes, totally exists and acts as the geographical and culinary tiebreaker. So the absolutely crucial point here is if you want breakfast in New Jersey, you have got to memorize this acronym: Peck on a hard roll with SPK. That translates to pork roll, or Taylor ham, depending on where you're standing, egg and cheese on a Kaiser roll topped with salt, pepper, and ketchup. And you won't order this slowly. You rattle it off as one giant, delicious word at your local deli counter. We also have a major divide when it comes to sandwiches. It's sub versus hoagie. North and Central Jersey side with sub, and they grab them from local mom-and-pop shops. South Jersey, which is heavily influenced by nearby Philadelphia, calls it a hoagie. But honestly, regardless of which side of the linguistic divide you fall on, every single New Jerseyan agrees on one universal truth. You absolutely do not ever order a sub or a hoagie at a diner. And speaking of diners, you really need to know the essential late-night eatery orders that literally fuel this state. First up, disco fries. These are French fries smothered in melted mozzarella cheese and brown gravy. It's an absolute requirement at 2 a.m. Next is the plain pie. Never ever order a cheese pizza or a cheese pie. The cheese is a given. It's just a plain pie. Finally, the Ripper. This is a legendary hot dog famously born at Rutt's Hut in North Jersey that is deep fried until the skin literally rips open. All right, let's shift gears into Jersey Italian 101. Because of our massive Italian-American population, we've developed an entire vernacular that drops its final vowels and causes us massive amounts of stress. Starting with a higida. Technically, sure, it means acid or indigestion, but in New Jersey, it means deep mental upset, stress, and absolute frustration caused by someone else's bad behavior. Here is exactly how a stressed-out Jersey mommy uses it when she has simply had enough. Stop drumming your fingers. You're giving me a jita. It's that awful feeling right in the pit of your stomach when a situation or a person is just grating on your absolute last nerve. We are also incredibly creative when it comes to roasting our own family members with Jersey Italian insults. Let's run through these. A baccia galoop is a doofus, basically a clumsy buffoon. A boombots is a total idiot, and somehow in literally every family story, it's always a guy named Vinny who is the biggest boombots. A chooch is a big baby. It's almost an affectionate insult when someone's whining. And finally, a gavone is a glutton, someone who eats pizza or pasta until they literally make themselves sick. Notice how we use food words to insult people? It's practically an art form.
Next up is Madon. When you are incredibly frustrated, but you really don't want your grandmother to throw a shoe at your head for cursing, you use Madon. It is a petition to the Virgin Mary and a totally safe, culturally acceptable substitute for dropping a serious curse word right in the middle of Sunday dinner. And here is exactly how you deliver it with the appropriate level of absolute disgust when a cooking crime has been committed. Madon! You use canola oil instead of olive oil for the cutlets? It's dramatic, it's super passionate, and it perfectly captures the incredibly high stakes of a New Jersey kitchen. And this next one brilliantly illustrates our favorite culinary slang, gabagool. It's derived from capicola, which is a delicious, salty Italian meat made from the head and neck of a pig. But because we are Jersey Italians, we can totally use it to call someone an absolute idiot too. I mean, only in the Garden State can a premium deli meat double as a highly effective insult. To wrap up this masterclass, surviving New Jersey is all about blunt, unapologetic confidence. You assert dominance anytime you cross state lines by taking one bite of breakfast and loudly declaring, "These bagels suck." Because let's face it, our bagels and our pizza are objectively superior. And when an argument has completely run its course and you just want the last word, throw your hands up and say, "Forget about it." It means the conversation is officially over. So I gotta leave you with this final question. Are you ready to talk like a true Garden State local, or are you still giving us a Jita? I really want to hear from you. Hit the comments right now and drop your absolute favorite New Jersey slang word or phrase. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you on the parkway. Just remember to use your turn signal when you take the jug handle.